They gonna start raiding homes?
There's 20,000 people's businesses that they've gotten all this product for. They need to sell all of that by the end of the year and figure something else out.
Colonialism just be happening everywhere, huh?
I mean, hey, if you're a winner, you're a winner.
If you're
I would say if you're fucking... What's happening? It's Larry Loudpack bringing you the latest in cannabis news and culture. In here with my man Malik, the manager.
I'm that dude, like it or love it.
And this is Fuego News. Let's get it. A dispensary in Baltimore was fined $26,000 for selling cannabis that was in a dumpster for 2 days. It was 224 grams of cannabis.
48 hours?
Actually, 41 hours and 9 minutes to be exact. They got it like that to the minute, bro. Because they got them on camera. So they went from the time they put it in to the time they pulled it out, 41 hours and 9 minutes. They then proceeded to sell that cannabis to customers. The inventory manager claimed that he said it needed to be destroyed because something was wrong with it. It was too old. Then the manager was like, nah, we need that bread. We can't keep losing profit, which I've personally seen firsthand at dispensaries.
You've seen somebody take out weed out the garbage before?
No, not out the garbage. I've seen stuff that should be thrown away not be thrown away because the manager's not willing to take a loss. In this case, the manager basically told him, like, nah, go get that shit back out of there. Knowing damn well you're on full surveillance.
That's
like
crazy.
Bro, just wild. I don't really understand the logic.
I want to know the situation that called them to, like, say, bring it back.
I think the manager just heard after they had thrown it away because the inventory manager is the one in charge of the inventory. So
True.
He's going through all the stuff. He logged on the log, probably this was destroyed. The manager came back in and saw it and was like, why the fuck is this destroyed? And then was like, nah, go get that shit back. So they had 3 employees on camera. Oh, we're going to shout you out. This is Curio's Far and Daughter Dispensary in Baltimore. They, by the way, in a wet box. The box was wet.
Who do you blame?
It's the manager's fault for making them do that. The inventory manager tried to get him to destroy it.
You feel me?
The employees shouldn't have done it, but they want to keep their job. So it's really on the manager for putting them in that position.
But it's even more messed up because they still gonna get fined and hit with some nonsense because...
No, the dispensary got fined.
Oh, just the dispensary?
Yeah, the dispensary got
The workers
fined.
didn't get fined?
No, I don't think it
cool.
is on the employees at all because
they got protected.
Yeah, okay. People understand when you're in a position of that's your employer, it's on them to know the regulations. It's not really, you should know what you need to know, but that's like more overlying like operations.
That's crazy
stuff,
bro.
You know, yeah. But now the company was ordered to submit its green waste logs for monthly reviews by the MCA.
That's what happens.
Submit its scale calibrations.
Yep.
And they're cleaning logs and retrain the staff and all that. So they got slapped around.
Once you give them a reason to be on your ass,
hey, I'm gonna fuck with you.
Every time. The Canadian Revenue Agency is forcing licensed producers to garnish their payments because of unpaid taxes. Yeah. Hold on. So, first and foremost, the amount of unpaid federal tax right now in Canada is 200 million Canadian dollars, which is 155 million American dollars, which is 3 times the amount of last year's amount.
That's unpaid that they owe to the government.
Licensed producers, yes, sir.
Ooh.
They also, on top of garnishing payments, trying to make it a possibility of taking plant property, equipment, and possibility of legal action. So they trying to throw y'all in jail too, probably. 305 corporations were hit with this, required to pay taxes, and 213 failed to pay those bills in full. So there's only 92 that are in the clear right now.
Damn. I mean, the market's doing bad, so I would assume that's probably got something to do with it.
Ontario, British Columbia, and Quebec account for 2/3 of all legal cannabis sales over there.
Canadian market is going downhill, but all markets are going
downhill.
Same with Cali.
Mm-hmm.
And I think things come with like, it's exciting when everything opens up. We got legal weed now. It's a boom. It's dope. But then after a few years, people start realizing, oh, I know somebody who grows better weed and doesn't have a 25% sales tax on top of what I'm paying on an eighth.
The jump in the span of 4 years is crazy in the amount of debt that they had. In 2019, it was $147,425.
It was only $100,000.
150. 2020, it was $4.4 million.
Wait. What was the year? The first year?
2019.
Oh, we didn't jump a few years? That was just the next year?
The next year it was 4.4 from 150 to 4. Yeah.
So what happened around that time, you think? You think maybe there was a virus that might have escaped a lab somewhere, potentially?
Because the jump don't stop.
Okay.
The year after that, 16 million.
And now, and we've gotten to 150 this year.
Last year, it was reported 192.7.
That's equivalent to some states, all of what they've made in their program, like overall from their taxes. And that's just what's outstanding.
5 billion. That's like 4%.
If you were in Canada at a certain point, once Michigan or New York went rec, you were trying to get into Michigan or New York because that's a way bigger market. So you're just going to keep losing people. COVID hits. Canada handled COVID probably the worst of any country in the world.
I think Toronto is like the cleanest.
Yeah. Russia is really clean. China's really clean too. It looks great, but it's, it looks great. The Nazi train stations, immaculate.
I'm talking about like actual, you know what the fuck I mean in regards to sanitation and shit like that.
I do get what you're saying, but I'm also saying those generally go hand in hand when people are scared to break the law.
Communism?
It's go in that direction.
Make sure y'all pay y'all taxes and shit, man. They coming for y'all.
Michigan announced $290 million of their cannabis tax revenue will be allotted to the schools, transportation, and city infrastructure, nearly double from 2022. So they're going up the right way.
Nearly double from 2022?
They got over $3 billion in Michigan. Over half of what Canada just got in a state as opposed to a country.
America's weed game's going to go crazy.
Michigan has been one in particular. They're the hub of the Midwest for weed right now. They've been the ones doing their thing in the Midwest.
Chicago in second place?
Yeah, it depends on. There's so many different ways you can measure it. They're also required by law to a lot of percentage of these things to certain sectors. So like within that cannabis bill that they passed when they legalized, they said you guys have to set aside a certain amount for education, for transportation, infrastructure, X, Y, and Z.
In Minnesota or Michigan? In Minnesota? Oh, okay.
And it's weird to not do that because we were just talking about how New Jersey's trying to figure out how they want to spend their money. It's like, y'all didn't think about that before you got the money? Y'all that's never the way you want to do it.
They want control before they even get to the next step. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna focus on shit. Let me get my hands on the shit. Let me make sure we got this under grasp, and then we can figure out what the next moves are. You know how America moves. It's shoot first, ask questions later.
That's a problem. And
that's right.
And that's why Michigan's doing better.
Because they had that thought out.
You're going to have a new baseball field brought to you by Kush. Brought to you by Kush.
Nah, for real. For real, it could really help the communities that this shit is coming out of.
Oh, their revenue for cannabis surpassed alcohol within this last year.
I'm not surprised.
So now they're making more money off weed than
they
alcohol.
Are on alcohol. Every state is probably that's probably what's gonna end up happening.
Michigan's been doing good too. They just launched a social equity grant program for $1 million for businesses, education, all that stuff.
$1 million out that billion? Out that couple?
Doesn't look that crazy when you put it after that number. Yeah, it doesn't.
When you are only taking $1 million out of how much?
Out of about $3 billion.
About $3 billion?
Yeah.
$1 million out of $3 billion?
Just ignore the $3 billion part, and then we'll just scroll down. So they're awarding $1 million.
Just ignore the $3 billion. Like, let's not talk about the $3 billion.
And Detroit still looks like Detroit.
Nevada officially opened up one of their lounges that we were talking about previously.
Smoke Lounge?
Yep. Owned by Thrive Cannabis Marketplace. The lounge is called Smoke and Mirrors. To initiate the opening of the lounge, the Clark County Commission chairman, Clark County is where Vegas is at, Tick Sagerblom.
That's wild.
Hopefully I said that right.
We could lighten up on the R. We could probably not hard R it. We could probably go Sega Bomb.
I'm just calling him Tick.
What's up? What'd he do?
Tick initiated the opening of the lounge by sparking a joint at 420.
And this is the mayor of
the Clark County Commission chairman.
Clark County Commission chairman came and burned one
to open up and then they also made a drink, a non-alcoholic THC infused beverage, in his name called The Godfather.
He got his own drink.
He got his own drink on the menu called The Godfather.
He's tapped in.
He's tapped in.
He's tapped in. He already was behind the scenes working something.
Shout out to Tick.
So they're official.
They have approved 19 lounges. 14 are retail attached. So
retail attached meaning a dispensary and a lounge in one.
Yeah. Retail cannabis consumption lounge. Yep. The article really said that this was the first lounge that was opened, but this isn't the first lounge that was opened over there. There's a lounge that's actually on a Native American land over there.
It's a tribal one though.
Yeah, that was like the first one called Nuwu. And they have an outdoor courtyard, dab bar, and canned cocktails.
Man, we always do that, bro. That we don't let their shit get busting, and then we come in like, we got a new thing over here.
And we say it's the first.
We got a new thing right
wow!
here.
Oh my God!
We always be doing that shit, bro. That's foul.
That is so crazy how that went 360 right now. I did not even think about it like that.
They've had it busting for
colonialism just be happening everywhere, huh?
I mean, hey, if you're a winner, you're a winner.
If you're
I would say if you're fucking So Thailand will officially ban recreational use of cannabis by the end of this year, but they'll continue to allow medical use.
Okay.
So the cannabis shops that are operating illegally will not be allowed to continue, while which is funny that they're allowing them right now. And then while homegrown cannabis will also be discouraged and require permission, which, I mean, I don't know how you're going to discourage niggas.
Yeah,
that doesn't
whatever.
sound very discouraging.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. But now people can be jailed or fined up to 8 racks for illicit cannabis use after the year ends. So you're good to smoke till December 31st. Y'all can burn. As soon as it's 12:01, you can get arrested and fined for having weed.
Be careful on New Year's because y'all going to try to push the limit.
Y'all gonna try to push it.
And they going to get on y'all ass at 12:01.
This recovered their economy. They got the boost from this for their economy.
Yes.
So now how are they going to make up for it? With fines.
And throwing y'all back in jail.
So we let y'all get all your grows set up for the last couple years. We let y'all get all your head stashes built up. You got all your shit. You got your bongs and shit. Now
they going to start raiding homes?
It's interesting, right? Because, like, how are you going to change the law that dramatically when people have already gotten... It's one thing when it's illegal and you make it legal because people weren't under the impression they could be doing something they can't. But now that you've made it legal for only a couple years, people were excited. People got their businesses started. People have their livelihood based on this. And now you're going to take that away from people who are entrepreneurs, people who are smokers, maybe medical, needed it for whatever reason they needed it for, which they can still do medical, but their medical is more strict than you would think. It's not just like glaucoma. You can't slide with that one out there.
We know how they were prior to it being legal. They were more strict on the weed and shit even then. You know what I'm saying, right? Like they was harsh about it, right?
Yeah.
So even now that they kind of flipped script and decided to, I guess, go against it now, it's not... This looks a part of branding, and this is just going to help their economy that much even more, to be honest with you.
Thailand became the first country in Southeast Asia to adopt medical use in only 2018.
Okay.
So this was 5 years ago that they even allowed medical use. Before that, they were strictly not allowing cannabis. It wasn't decriminalized. There was no medical, nothing.
Exactly.
Then recreational came in 2022, less than 2 years ago. They've estimated they have over 20,000 cannabis shops in an industry projected by next year to be worth up to 1.2 billion. And now they're just cutting it off. So there's 20,000 people's businesses that they've started and gotten all this product for.
In Thailand.
They need to sell all of that by the end of the year and figure something else out.
Wow.
Like, that's kind of fucked up.
What else would they do?
I mean, whatever they were doing before, because it just got legal. So
but whatever they were doing before didn't keep the economy.
That's what's fucked up to me, is that you've got all these people that you know you've allowed to get this product, and now you know people have the product.
Yeah.
Now you've set the fines so you can fine them 8 racks for growing something. And you know people already started doing stuff. You know there's going to be a percentage of the population that doesn't stop, right?
No, crazy enough, I know of a grower out there that like started his whole grow team over there type shit. You know what I'm saying? Got a staff going and everything.
Yeah, he's got to figure something out now.
I know he got hit because and he dropped everything he was doing over here and went over there.
That's what I mean. And that's one person out of these 20,000.
Black market ticket over there going to be crazy.
Crazy. And then the tourism. And that's what they didn't like. They were getting a lot of weed tourism. I bet people from China, if they wanted to smoke, they're not gonna try that shit in China.
You
so
know
they coming
what?
over. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're taking away from the experience that
The locals
Thai.
have.
There's roots of Thai weed deep as shit. Mm-hmm. Now you're taking away from the experience and history that they can really create a good economy, have like a fucking museum over there.
You want a hot take from me? I think this is good in the long run for the people who are actually true to this in the black market, because it's getting so saturated. And like we said, when things get saturated, it kind of fucks it up for the legacy growers.
And the black market is good. I'm more so meaning for Thailand's economy. This is probably the dumbest decision they've made in a long time.
It's a bad move, but I think
in a long time.
But that's the question that I have written down: money or culture? Do you want the money, or do you want to keep your culture that you've had traditionally for hundreds of years?
If they were smart, they can do money and culture. If they were smart, they can do money and culture. I just gave you the whole script right here.
Do you think money becomes the culture at a certain point, like in America?
It's the culture to the people that are surface level.
If they're gonna get 1.2 billion next year, they've clearly decided that 1.2 billion isn't worth what it's gonna do to them as a country or as a culture, or the culture they're losing. And Amsterdam did the same thing. Amsterdam is not allowing weed tourism anymore,
culture,
because Amsterdam felt like their culture was getting fucked up by the influence of this tourism and money.
To answer your question, they're going culture. Mm-hmm. I just think we have plenty examples of countries or states or whatever keeping the money and the culture.
I think there are, but I think within their weed culture the weed culture has always been a black market one and has always been a secretive one. And I think it kind of adds an edge to it. I think that it takes something away from it when you start commercializing it and you start advertising, and there's one on every corner. It takes the novelty and like the tradition of like, we've been doing this low key as a family for like hundreds of years. We've got
the mystique.
Yeah, a little bit of that, which is obviously glorifying it a little bit too. But there's something to that. And there's something too when you commercialize something, and it kind of waters it down for the people who have been in the legacy side of things.
For your normal consumer, I'm upset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For the average consumer, 100%. I'm upset.
I'm speaking from somebody,
because now I get to maybe just smoke the weed from Thailand, right? I wanted to go to Thailand, smoke some weed, and get a tour of where the first Thai weed was grown or some shit, or the mountains and environment of where such and such was put. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like we know Thailand has that kind of lineage with their shit out there.
We do. I think we also put a lot of emphasis on like something being government sanctioned, whereas you could always have done that if you knew the right person.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to know the right guy. You
can keep the money and the culture if you... In my opinion, you can keep the money in the culture when the government is actually for the people.
Yeah, I think
Thailand ain't for the people.
There's a lot of ways to make money. There's not a lot of ways to preserve your culture. And I think a lot of those ways to make money could end up decaying your culture, whereas it's kind of the pick and choose. So in their eyes, this is their culture. This isn't us, what we project their culture to be. This is like their own thing that they know that we don't understand that well, where like with these Asian cultures.
And I agree, because hip hop is a great example of that. Money being the overbearer of all things. Yeah.
Niggas sell out.
Niggas compromise their character and shit.
Yeah.
So with that being said though, wasn't this like something that had to go through the people, or did it have to go through the higher ups?
No, this was just the health minister. Decided this, got it in writing, passed it through the House.
So my point is, who is he for?
Well, he's the health minister, so he's supposed to be for public health and public safety.
Who paying him?
Obviously the government pays him.
I want to know who's paying the health minister.
We also have to remember they are still allowing medical use. So I'm almost like, this is y'all's culture. I kind of understand if you don't want everybody just getting high.
Being recreational
I kind of get it. If you're allowing them to be medical, that's your prerogative. So, and if you're not allowing medical, then that's where I would question, like, okay, are you for people's betterment and health? Or are you, because I understand not everybody needs to be smoking weed all day, every day. Like, niggas got shit to do. But it's a balance too. I think they started seeing they were losing the balance.
They were losing the balance.
And 20,000 shops in a year. The New York governor basically put out a statement asking Google to stop listing cannabis companies as like legitimate companies and businesses online. And it's not only Google, it's like, Weed Maps, Yelp, like all these places. Her quote is, if you type in cannabis dispensaries in Google Maps or Yelp, you'll get a long list of unlicensed illegal vendors.
How you know that?
She did it. She Googled it. And I did it. It's facts. I Googled cannabis shops New York, and all those illegal shops pop up.
How do you know they're illegal, though? Because ain't nobody got no license. True.
Ain't nobody got no license. Niggas ain't got no. They got no license. It's a couple licenses out there. Niggas ain't got no license. Niggas know who got the license.
Niggas ain't got no license over there.
So they're aware of this shit.
I forgot this is New York.
Come on now, bro. Like
shit.
Every damn corner you go to is somebody trying to sell you some gas.
God
or
damn.
Something.
They said they're selling edibles out the bodegas over there.
It's facts. There are illegal shops everywhere, and it's hilarious that you can Google shops
and they all popping up
with their menus, with pictures, address.
And you want to know really what it is? It's funny because I find this intriguing because I think it's the power of advertising, right? Google not gonna stop people from paying them to put ads up.
I didn't see this part. That's facts, because Yelp said company believes consumers have a First Amendment right to read and write about all businesses, even if unlicensed. Yelp said, we disagree, so we're going to keep that up. Hey, suck my dick from the back. Hey, Governor Hochul. Hey, yo, suck my dick from the back.
Nigga, hey, I'm trying to tell you, because they don't give a fuck about where that money coming from. They just want the money.